What is up, you guys? Skeet Heatley. You ever heard of me? Yeah, I'm back, baby. And I am here during the dog days of summer. It's 11:30 p.m. I understand that. So if you got a notification from your YouTube that Clean Hits just went live, they have no idea I'm doing this. But hey, you know what? It's the dog days of summer, like I said, and we have some stuff to talk about here. And why not do it over like that? Whiskey Wednesdays. Now, I know what you're thinking. The mustache is not real, which I totally get. It's 100% real, made out of pure ostrich. And it's the last question I'm going to take on that. But I'm here, truthfully, to mourn what is the 2024-2025 NHL season. And I want to go over that with you, specifically Utah fans, because this is the first year of our existence. The Utah Hockey Club, no more. The Utah Mammoth, we are here to stay. But there was a lot of stuff that happened in between now and then, and we're gonna get over it. I'm sorry, we're gonna go over it. And sorry, the whiskey's already hitting already, but there was a crazy, crazy season that we just witnessed, and we have to talk about it. We really do. It all starts with the NHL draft held in Las Vegas at the Sphere, however you say that, Sphere. Now, I am not an NHL general manager, though I probably should be. I'm not an NHL general manager, but NHL general manager, oh my goodness. But I probably should be, but I digress. We should have never, ever decentralized the draft. I mean, you saw this. We've all been a part of Zoom meetings. Like, God, has COVID not taught us anything? We should not be doing Zoom meetings for the most important moments of a young athlete's life. But here we are. We're doing it. And the last draft was painful, but painful in only one way. And we're going to get to the rest here shortly. So we're going to flash back to the 2024 NHL draft, in which we saw the likes of Macklin Celebrini going first overall. Macklin Celebrini, somebody that probably didn't get as much hype as they probably deserved in comparison to the Connor Bedards of the world. The list goes on and on, right? But he had a pretty phenomenal season and is probably at the point where he's going to be contending against Connor Bedard for one of the best athletes in young athletes in the NHL today. And that's also highlighted by somebody named Lane Hudson. Ever heard of him? He had 60 freaking assists this year, 60 assists. That ties Larry Murphy. Larry Murphy, I mean, I'm going off the cuff here, but I think that record was set like in 1979 or 1980, 81, whatever. You're going to have to give me a little bit of grace there, but it was that record was almost untouchable. 60 assists. Any team in the league now would be extremely happy with a 60-point player, but this guy had 60 assists. So shout out to Lane Hudson of the Montreal Canadiens. And another young star holding the young guard here is Dustin Wolf of the Calgary Flames. He's an undersized goaltender, don't get me wrong, but Dustin Wolf put up, I believe, a 9-10% save percentage in the league as a rookie goaltender. And by all means, looks to be the franchise goaltender of the Calgary Flames. So we're seeing the young guard come in, but have we forgotten about the old guard? The old guard. And when I say this, it makes me feel very, very young. I remember watching Alexander Ovechkin score off of his freaking back. Yeah, he scored on his back, and I was at the game. Mhm. I was there with your mom. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I digress. I was there. No, I really was. And he scored on his back and made probably one of the most incredible plays in NHL history with a one-handed shot on his back to score past Brian Boucher, which Brian Boucher, we got a lot of love for him. He holds, I believe, still to this day, the NHL consecutive shutout record. And Alex Ovechkin made him look foolish. Alex Ovechkin, I mean, if you think about it, he was injured by Jack McBain. I love Jack McBain, don't get me wrong, but we could have ended his parade this year, and the Russian machine still found a way to make it happen. And if you think about that, it's kind of crazy. It really is. Like he had so much ground to make up and still did it and still did it. And he had to hit 894 goals and he hit 897 goals this year. That's 3 away from 900. That seemed impossible to the regular NHL fan. But here we are witnessing history. And last but not least, we got to watch, which I feel deserves its own vigil while we're mourning the season that was the 2024-2025 season. I feel that we have a tremendous responsibility to mourn the loss of the Four Nations face-off. Man, I cannot even tell you how, and we're on Clean Hits After Dark here, right? Quick hits with Skeet, Whiskey Wednesdays. How horny I was for hockey during that time. And I say that with the utmost respect to the game. It's sad that we have these guys dressing up in mullets and pretending to be other people and doing these crazy shots on goaltenders that aren't even trying. And I'm talking about the NHL All-Star game. I think that they were shooting pucks into an alligator's mouth recently. It's crazy, right? Just scrap all that, do the Four Nations face-off. And I know a lot of people are going to complain about this because Matthew Tkachuk, the newly NHL 26 or EA athlete, got injured during that time and is probably not going to start the season, which is kind of crazy to think about it. But give me that all day. Inject that into my veins. 3 fights within the first, 15 seconds. I'll take that 100%. And then the Kachuk brothers dapping each other up, in the penalty box. Could you not be more horny for hockey? Again, I feel bad for saying that, but that's how I feel. The Ski Heatley talking about this. I mean, we can blame him, right? But we're never going to get that again. It doesn't look like that. Now that the NHL is back participating in the Olympic realm here, we have no idea what's going on with Russia. We're not going to get into that because there's a lot of politics that go behind that. But the NHL is back in the Olympics. There's a good chance that no NHL owner is going to sign off on the Four Nations face-off to replace the All-Star game. That's going to be 2 times where players are going to be going out wearing the crest of the country that they grew up in and trying to bring home a title. It's just not going to happen. It's going to only happen in the case of the Olympics. And now that we're back in it, we have missed so many opportunities to do the Four Nations face off. And I won't even lie to you. When it was first announced, I was like, "Oh, big whoop! This is like a precursor to the NHL Olympics." I'm the general manager of a bar, 2 bars actually, and I ended up working the night that Canada and USA were playing. And the amount of people that showed up for that are not hockey fans that were cheering their heads off during the 3 fights that happened within the first 15 seconds was so heartwarming to me because as a lifelong hockey fan, I got to see all these people panic and freak out and say, like, this is the best sport in the world. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Really, that's what I've been trying to tell people. But we're not going to get that anymore. So you have to think back on this year. And most specifically, I'm talking to you Utah Mammoth, then Utah Hockey Club fans. This was our year. This was the year that we were introduced as a new franchise. And as a lifelong Coyotes fan, I got to show my little boy here. It's very fitting that I have a skull, but there's the Kachina. I didn't know that I was going to join the fan base. I really didn't. I had a hard time with our team leaving, but I linked up with the boys at the Clean Hits crew. We got Brad, our fearless leader. We got Corey. We got Trent. We got Kenny, that handsome son of a gun. And they invited me to join the podcast every once in a while and host the occasional game show, you know? But anyway, we got to fall in love with our team all over again. And as hard as it was to see them leave, we're here. We're here, and we got a chance to see what this team can do with an owner that actually gives a shit. Pardon my language, but again, I bet probably should take a sip so you guys know I'm not a pretender. Got some in my stash there, but we got a chance to fall in love with our team all over again and got to see what it would look like with an owner that actually cares. And that was evident at the draft. I mean, seeing us acquire Mikhail Sergachev and John Marino within, I don't know, a couple minutes span on day 2 of the draft, that's crazy. Again, I'm going back to the NHL sphere. Like, go back there. You guys have no reason not to go back there. That's crazy. But I digress. We could not have more or have had more of a perfect season than the one we did. And if you think about it, one, we're introducing the NHL to Utah. Utah is an explosive fan base. Utah shows up. We all know that. I got to see it firsthand. I went out there and got to meet a lot of you guys. And man, Utah shows up. That arena is so friggin' loud. These players that have been playing at the Mullet Arena or the Glendale Arena, or whatever you want to call it, jobbing.com arena, only real or Coyotes fans will know that name. But they finally got an opportunity to see what it feels like to play in front of a live massive crowd that's all there for them, and an owner that fosters an environment that they matter. And it was really, really fun to watch. Again, I didn't think that I was going to start the year with this team. I didn't know what I was going to do, but here we are a year later, and I couldn't be more stoked about the team's direction. So flash forward a little bit, we went off to a hot start. Man, I can't even tell you how excited I was that we swept New York. Dylan Gunther was leading the league in goals after the first week. I'm like, man, are you kidding me? Like, we really got this guy from Vancouver for, I don't want to say nothing. We took out a couple bad contracts and we shipped away Connor Garland. But Oliver Ekman-Larsson wasn't working out for us. And Connor Garland was just, a middle-sized winger. I'm saying middle-sized graciously. But we got the ninth overall pick in a draft that was convoluted and really, really confusing based off the fact that nobody played hockey that year. Nobody played hockey that year because of COVID. And Dylan Gunther was projected to go early on. I mean, within the top five. We got him ninth overall. We got him ninth overall. And what we did in the process, we traded away an anchor of a contract. We got rid of Connor Garland, which kind of hurt. But all we did in return was take on uh, a few players, and I say a few, it was a pretty good handful, that were on the final year of their contract, that were on expiring contracts, and then we had the cap space to do it. Now, in return, we have a potential 40-goal scorer, a perennial 40-goal scorer on our roster because of that reason. And Dylan Gunther led the league in goals within that first year. I'm sorry, within that first week. And you think back to that and you say, like, wow, like these guys are really, really trying and really performing under the pressure. Flash forward, right? We have one of the craziest regular seasons that we've ever seen. We saw a superstar in Mikko Rantanen traded twice before the NHL trade deadline. You don't ever see that. I'm remind me the last time that's happened in sports. When I saw that he got traded to the Carolina Hurricanes, I thought that he was a Carolina Hurricane for the rest of his life. And then you start hearing all the rumors and all that the coach wasn't a fan of it, didn't sign off on it, that Mikko Rantanen wasn't sold on the Carolina market or the team. And you're like, man, could this really happen again? And of course, it did. Within the final hour of the NHL trade deadline, we had an NHL superstar traded twice. Twice. It's crazy. Now, he went on to have a very, very impressive NHL playoffs, right? He dominated the second round, and we all got to watch that, and we were wondering, like, what the hell? Like, what did Colorado do? What did Carolina do getting rid of this guy? But then you see what they got in return. Colorado got Martin Necas. Martin Necas arguably put up more. I believe he put up the same amount of points that Rantanen did in Carolina and Dallas. And I might be mistaken, but you put anybody on the line with Nathan MacKinnon, you're going to have a good time. And then you look at what Carolina got from Dallas in the trade, and they got Stanky Stakehoven, and he looks to be a legitimate player, like a guy that can get you to the playoffs and get you through the playoffs. And you just don't see these trades happen very often. And I'm not trying to wrap it on this, but the fact that the salary cap is increasing as much as it has, it's opening up so many more opportunities for teams to be creative. And Utah got a little bit creative signing Nate Schmidt, Brandon Tanev, Vitek Vanacek, but I don't think they're done. I really don't. We're talking about August 6th, maybe August 7th at this point, because it's 11:50, right? Bill Armstrong is not done. There's like, I don't mean to be that guy, and I don't mean to pump my own tires, but shout out to the Clean Hits Discord. We have the best hockey talk and all the channels that you would ever imagine that you would want in our Discord. And I hate to pump my tires on them, but they had some pretty strong predictions that I counterpointed, I guess you could say. And I ended up being right, which is not very often. But still, I may or may not have some inside knowledge on certain things. Mostly may not. But I can tell you, Utah is not done. Utah is not done. It's August 7th, and I don't think Bill Armstrong is done with this roster. I mean, you saw the rumors about him being interested in Nick Ehlers that ended up signing in Carolina, and that was after we made all of our our picks, right? I don't want to say picks, but like we picked all. Yeah, I have no idea what happened there, but we made all the appropriate picks in free agency to fill all the right holes, and we signed Nate Schmidt. We signed Vitek Vanacek. We acquired JJ Paterka, some top six scoring. There was a lot of highlights during this offseason. And on, I don't want to say unfortunately, but like we're not done. We're not done. We still have to address the right-handed shot defenseman role. Um, as much as it's nice to bring in someone like Nate Schmidt and as promising as Maverick Lamora is to this organization, we still have a massive hole to fill there in a playoffs or bust year. And I can still see that being addressed, and it's got to be via trade. There's really no more free agents that would move the needle. And so I think that's the reason why we're looking at the trade front. And I know that's the reason why we're looking at the trade front. And the summer is still long. I mean, it's early yet, right? So pay attention to that. But the year that Utah had, again, finishing as one of the last statistically eliminated teams in the playoffs or in the race for the playoffs. And we put up a hell of a year with Logan Cooley setting career highs, Dylan Gunther setting career highs, Clayton Keller setting career highs. We got to a point now where we have positioned ourselves to have a deep playoff run or a run for the race, get eliminated, and how could it end any better with us winning the lottery, as I mentioned? So, grabbing Caleb Desnoyers and filling our prospect line and having such an exciting NHL season, the 2024-2025 season was one for the record books. Again, you got to witness Alex Ovechkin. You got to witness goalie goals, multiple goalie goals. I think Philip Gustafson and Ilya Sorokin, and I believe the guy from Pittsburgh, Ned, or I don't remember his name, but this was all pretty crazy and pretty niche. And we got a chance to watch it all together. And I am super pumped to have done this with you all. And man, might be the dog days of summer. You guys might be thirsty for content, and I'm sorry that this is all you got, but be on the lookout, Utah. Be on the lookout. Bill Armstrong is about to make a couple more moves that are going to intrigue you enough. And if he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised that it happens within the first couple months of the season, just to see, hey, I did everything I could during the off season. I filled the holes I needed to fill, et cetera, et cetera. But we know that he's still looking for a long-time goalie that can grow with the prospect pool. There was rumors around the draft that we would trade one of our draft picks for Ilya Sorokin, if not both, make a swap with New York to make that happen. The New York Islanders, I say, but he's still on the lookout, and he's still on the lookout for scoring, as you can tell, with the rumored interest in Ehlers, who eventually ended up with Carolina. And you have to identify that that hole on the right-handed shot defenseman side after we shipped out Michael Kesselring. So there's probably going to be a couple emergency episodes, guys. I'm not trying to be that guy that's breaking any news, but Bill Armstrong said himself, this is a playoffs or bust year. The playoffs or bust year. If you think that he's going to do anything else but to address that situation with full force, Billy Strongarm style. I wish I looked as good as him. Billy Strongarm style. You guys are crazy. And with that, I had a 25-minute video, my first introduction of quick hits, Kenny, aka Sleek Hits with Skeet. Oh, I can't even say it. But I just figured, hey, we gotta jump on here and provide our fans a little bit of an update. If there's anything more that you want to see from us or any interviews that you're requesting, feel free to reach out. We'd love your input. We appreciate all of you. You can find us on Instagram at Clean Hits Hockey. You can find us on X at Clean Hits Hockey. You can find us on Discord at Clean Hits Hockey. Join our Discord. Again, it's one of the most provocative channels that you can find out there, and it's not just all Utah Mammoth. It's NHL discussion. We have the most notifications that I have on my phone are from your mom and from Discord, and it's a close tie. So make sure you show up there and talk some hockey with us. There are so many people that get there and enjoy just shooting the stuff, you know what I mean, and talking about the NHL. Even during the dog days of summer, we have people that are super passionate. So we'd love to have you. And without further ado, guys, we'll catch you on the next. Wow, we'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers. I'm not going to chug whiskey. That's not going to happen. Oh, no, my mustache. Oh.